To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
America Sings was in Tomorrowland from 1974 to 1988. However, its origins date back to the 1964-65 World's Fair. Walt Disney had the Carousel of Progress be one of the major attractions he would build for the World's Fair. He put in charge Imagineers Roger E. Broggie and Bob Gurr for the attraction. The technology used was a rotating theater. America Sings would later use this same technology. When the World's Fair had ended, in 1965, the Carousel of Progress was moved to Disneyland in 1967. When the Carousel of Progress began its process of being moved to Disney World in 1973, the Imagineers began working on a new attraction to put in that space. The Imagineers at Disney wanted to do an attraction commemorating the United States bicentennial celebration. They reused old concept art from a canceled film, Chanticleer. Imagineer Mark Davis wrote the story for the show and divided it into 6 rotations with 4 acts: the loading area, early South, Old West, gay 90s. Yes, it was really called that. Modern times, and the finale. It was hosted by Sam the Eagle. No, not that Sam the Eagle. This one. Sam was voiced by Burl Ives, best known for the snowman in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. His co-host was Ollie the Owl, voiced by Sam Edwards, who's best known for voicing Adult Thumper in Bambi. Sam would open up the show by singing Yankee Doodle, and then him and Ollie would explain what the show was all about. Sam would sing Yankee Doodle as well between sets, and him and Ollie were in every set. The first and the last stage would be the same. However, during each set, they would be in a different area of it, wearing costumes that fit the era they were in. The show contained over 115 animatronics and played 39 songs. One of the most famous ones was Who Shot a Hole in My Sombrero, which was originally sung in a Mexican accent. However, it was deemed so offensive by the press, even for the 1970s, that it was changed to a Texan one. I couldn't find any footage of the original, but here's a clip of what it was changed to.
Who shot that hole in my sombrero? Who put that bullet through my head? Who shot that hole in my sombrero? Who would do a terrible thing like that? I can't.
This was also the first attraction to be completed without having any input from Walt Disney. As all other attractions that had released in the mid to late 60s, Walt had input in before his passing in 1966. The attraction was all prepared with a red, white, and blue exterior, and Sam the Eagle would be helping with the promotion. The attraction would open as Disneyland's 54th major attraction to the public less than a week before July 4th on June 29th, 1974, 2 years before the American bicentennial. However, not even 2 weeks after the attraction had opened, the incident would occur. On July 8th, 1974, everything seemed to be business as usual until tragedy struck at America Sings. Guests in the last show heard screams coming from an empty theater next to theirs and alerted cast members. However, they apparently believed it to be a part of the show. The screams were of cast member Debbie Stone being crushed to death between the wall and the rotating theater. It is unknown to this day as to how the incident occurred. This incident exposed a major design flaw that America Sings had that the Carousel of Progress didn't. In both attractions, the cast member announcing the show is positioned to the left, meaning for the Carousel of Progress, it moved clockwise. This means leaning out towards the stage would just result you in getting hit by the wall and no harm done. However, when you reverse the mechanism, like America Sings does with it being counterclockwise, It's dangerous and could potentially lead to somebody getting crushed. After this incident, the attraction was closed several days for cleaning, as well as installing new safety features such as breakaway walls and indicator lights. This incident is what people commonly think of when they think of America Sings instead of the content of the attraction. Now, back to a more lighthearted note, the second floor of the building that housed an Epcot mini museum during the days of the Carousel of Progress being in Disneyland did not get used by America Sings. It instead became the tunnels for the People Mover. The Progress City models that were used during the Carousel of Progress days were then relocated and either dismantled or used inside of the People Mover for Disney World for that Progress City. After a 14-year run, America Sings would shut down in 1988 as the attraction was out of place for Tomorrowland, and the event, the American Bicentennial, which the attraction was built for, had already come and gone. The building was initially used for office space until Innoventions opened in 1998. Then it was renamed to the Tomorrowland Expo in 2015 with the introduction of the Star Wars Launch Bay. Animatronics from America Sings would get reused for the story of Splash Mountain, and the ones that didn't fit into the story were put into the boat finale. The classic Splash Mountain was in Disneyland from 1989 to 2023, but that's a video for another day.